Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. This tutorial I really wanted to show you guys sort of how to mix a song that may not have been recorded very well. Basically, this track is featured on our blog website. I used it to A/B the eMastered website just to see sort of how the mastering works on that side. And I used a song that wasn't exactly up to scratch just to see how it worked. The mix isn't too bad, the one on the website, but this version is completely stripped, so it has no effects, no EQ, nothing like that. And I thought it'd be a good idea to go over it and see what things we could do. See by the end of it if we could actually walk away with quite a decent mix. I thought it'd be quite interesting to see. The reason why it's badly recorded is because it was sort of a concept piece. It was just an idea in my head that I quickly wanted to get down. But it's a good sort of template to start off with. So what we'll do, we'll go straight in, and I've done a bit of work already. As you can see, I've kind of grouped the drums and the guitars. There's a dual mono piano track there. Everything at the moment is going through one master bus, so there's no other buses, which we'll add some of those later. But for now, I want to go through it. I want you to hear what it sounds like with nothing on it at all. And then we'll sort of go in and we'll level some things and see what needs doing from there. So let's just jump in and have a listen. Oh, also, if you're looking at this screen now and you're wondering, oh, what the hell's going on? Where's everything gone? Don't panic. It's because I've minimized. So if I'm sounding a bit nasy today, it's because I'm getting over a bit of a cold. So if I stumble over my words a little bit, that's the reason why. The browser's been minimized, the inspector view, and the gadgets up the top. You just press C to get rid of that one, I for the inspector view, B for the browser. So what we'll do is we'll play through it once, have a listen, and I will level a few things out. So let's have a listen. Okay, there we are. As you can hear, there's a lot that needs doing to it, so we'll get cracking with that in just a moment. It's extremely bass heavy. That's because the bass, I think, was probably recorded on a guitar and then transposed down to bass level. Not the most ideal thing to do in the world, but that's what we're working with. You know, we'll work with what we've got. So we do need to sort the bass out badly, but we also need to do a lot with the drums. Couldn't hear the kick drum at all. It's just very mushy. Everything's in the same space in the mix. Everything needs to be. There needs to be more sort of spatial awareness going on. So we'll deal with all that. Next step though is to play through it again, and I'm just going to level a few things, maybe pan a few things, and just to get a general gist of where things should sit. So let's do that. I'm going to be working in sort of this view, so let's just sort that out. Okay, it's sounding better. The bass still needs sorting out. There's a lot of EQ that needs doing to the bass. A lot of that low end needs a good roll off. The guitar needs work. Everything needs work, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some bus tracks. I think the best thing to do also for the drums would be to do some parallel compression, get that kick drum up. This piano needs to kick through a little bit more, and that needs to find some space within the mix. So let's insert some bus tracks. So we're going to right click, insert bus tracks. It's insert 3. Okay, and we're going to actually we'll hide the metronome. We'll go guitars for that one. Drums and piano. Okay, so drums, and I'm just clicking on one, then going to the end of the group, shift and click again, and it highlights that whole section. Then control hold, click the out, and what we are now guitar, and they will all go to those to the guitar bus. Same with this one, to piano, and then we need to make sure that the guitar is going to the master, drums is going to the master, the piano is going to the master, and we'll also make that one the same color as the piano. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to want to look at really is this bass. It needs sorting out because it's taking up quite a lot of room in the bottom spectrum. So we need to dull that down a lot, because otherwise we're not going to have space for the kick drum. Some of the piano might be in there somewhere, so we need to take that down. So we're going to solo this bass, and we're going to have a listen to it and try and sort this out a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's probably going to be about a section. We'll highlight that, and then we'll loop it. And let's have a listen to this bass. You notice how really boomy it is. I'll open up this Pro channel. Let's have a look at this compressor. I love this compressor, by the way. This new view, absolutely love it. It's so smart. And the good thing is as well, it's got this analyzer built in with it, so you get to see the whole kind of frequency spectrum of that instrument. It's definitely going to need a high pass filter. Look at all this room it's taking up here. Now if we see, look at this bass. The bass, the kick drum and the bass, they're taking up the same room in those frequencies, and we need to attenuate one of them. Otherwise, you're not going to distinguish the kick drum from the bass, and that's quite a general problem that a lot of people have, is trying to find space for all the different instruments and where they're all going to sit. Well, the best thing to do is to attenuate or cut frequencies that are taking up the same room. So rather than boosting the kick drum to make it louder, we will attenuate or cut the bass guitar so the kick drum has more room to breathe, and you'll be able to hear it better because of that, or at least I hope so. That being said, let's turn the kick drum off. There we go. So we're going to turn on this high pass filter. We're going to go E-type high pass filter. And a lot needs to be cut off. You see that? Do you hear that? That crackle. There's not a lot we're going to be able to do about that, unfortunately. That's not a frequency, that's just a bad recording. So hopefully that will get lost in the overall mix. There isn't much we can do about that. The best we can do is just to find a good sound for this bass. So let's do quite a sharp slope. Now what we want to try and find is a sound where you can hear the individual notes whilst giving it a little bit of bass, but we want to be able to hear the individual notes being played. Otherwise it just becomes, because it's such a bum 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 bass, there isn't a lot of chord sequences going on. It's not very sort of complicated. If we don't cut enough bass, it's just going to be a mush of boom 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 boom. So we need to cut enough so that those plectrum strokes get noticed, which will add to the rhythm. We need to try and find, because you can hear, if we cut it a bit more, you can hear the individual plectrum strokes. Whereas if you keep going more and more bassy, it just becomes mushy. And we can actually do a low pass filter as well, because there's absolutely nothing really sitting in here. And then let's see, that crackle's really coming through now, unfortunately. You hear the before and after. We've cut so much bottom end off that bass, but it needed it. It's given the whole mix a whole new sense of air. So now we've freed up all that bottom end to fit in other things that need to go in there. You see what I mean? Which is such a good thing. So we'll leave that for now. We don't want to go too much, because if you go too fiddly before you do anything else, you'll find yourself having to go back and make, finer adjustments, because you've mixed that particular track because you're listening to just that one track, whereas you need to fit it in with everything else. So we'll come back to that. See, lots of people have different ways of approaching this. Some people would mix the drums, and they would just mix the drums and then they go on to something else, whereas I like to switch backwards and forwards, because I like to match certain instruments with other instruments. So for instance, now I might have done the bass, and then I might do the kick drum to fit in with that bass drum. You'll often find the bassist will follow the kick drum. Those two should work very closely together. So I would probably mix the kick drum, but I will be doing that in the next episode. For now though, I am out of time. I've probably talked far too much. I think the idea is there. We're going to, I know we haven't done very much in this episode, but we will carry this on, and hopefully by the end of it we'll sort of turn this ugly duckling into a lovely swan. But no, seriously, I think it's a really good sort of way of testing your skills and experimenting with ideas, and we will continue to do that in the next episodes. Thank you guys so much for welcoming me back. I've had some really positive messages off you guys. It really does mean a lot to me. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye. A little trick that I think you should all be aware of if you're not already, and this really is sweeping across the frequency spectrum, finding quickly, easily, and the step sequencer is a perfect tool to do this. It allows you to add beats in on the fly very quickly and just get a basic